No specific topic. I'm just here to chill.
We're just chilling, bro.
You're just chilling, yeah.
Okay, that's the theme of this podcast. I like it that way.
Yeah.
I did prepare shit.
Okay.
But I choose to put it at the side.
Oh.
But we just talk lah, okay?
Can.
Hey man, what's up, bro?
Good. Thanks for having me here.
Guys, we've got Malaysia's very own version of Bobby Saputra. What do you feel when people compare you to Bobby Saputra? So, sorry, I just give an...
Yeah, sure.
So, Bobby Saputra is the so-called son of the richest man in Indonesia. Yeah, supposedly. He's actually playing a character lah, dude. Bobby Saputra, I don't even think that's his real name. So
No, his name is Ben. I actually met him once when he came over to KL.
yeah, I saw you did a video with him.
Yeah.
Couple of months ago, is it?
A couple of months ago, last year.
Yeah, how is he like, dude?
Yeah, interesting guy. I think his real life personality is pretty similar to his online persona.
If you're talking about his accent, yeah, he talks like an American.
Yeah, he talks like American. No, I mean his character, his energy.
Yeah.
Is a little bit less behind the scenes. But yeah, I'm not sure. Is it just like he's trying to portray his character like, you know, his online character? Yeah, with me.
Maybe it is who he is, but his content is
it's
hilarious, entertaining. People love it lah, dude.
yeah. His content is banging.
It's fun.
It's fun. You know, I guess that's what attracts the Gen Zs, or maybe that's what the social media likes to see.
Not just Gen Zs. Okay, one thing you realize with so his content is okay, fine, let's put it this way lah. How would you describe your content?
Yeah.
You have two accounts,
I do have
right?
2 accounts, yeah. The other account not too active because I'm a bit lazy. And I'm not as famous as him. So that's why, you know, I'm doing everything myself. Maybe he has a whole team to push that. So
Does he?
different. Yeah, he has a whole team. Yeah, of course, yeah. He mentioned to me he needed to hit like 10 million views a week. Like that's the mandate he gave his team.
Oh,
But he's big. He's big. So like, if one day I get that big, then I'll have a team as well. But I'm like so small, so no point having that. Yeah.
so how long ago did you start actually?
I actually started like last year, March. So like a little over 1 year.
Yeah, bro, that's fast, you know.
Yeah. You know, I think it's different perspective because I think now short form content, Instagram is, you know, getting so big.
Yeah.
There's so many influencers online. Actually, I don't consider myself as very big. So I do agree that now numbers are quite okay. Yeah.
Yeah, you mean nowadays you see more and more people 6 digits, 7 digits?
Yeah. Like not 6 digit. I guess 6 digit is like pretty huge following.
Yeah.
But like you can easily get like 20, 30k followers.
Yeah. But you're at almost 90k lah, right?
Yeah,
now.
90k. Yeah.
But one thing is for sure, to reach let's say to reach 6 digits, right? You're almost at that within a year. It's fast, bro. It's very fast.
Yeah. So people have been telling me that. So I guess a bit of luck, a bit of effort. I mean, I do post every day.
It's effort lah, bro. It seems simple because it's short, right? Short, funny, eye-catching. But it takes effort. Like you also have to think about it, yeah, and prepare the prop or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, dude. Let's rewind back, lah, dude. Tell me about your background.
Yeah. I guess I'm just a chill guy. Actually, I started this social media thing as a hobby, just to talk a bit about cars, you know, talk a bit about lifestyle, and it grew from there. So I'm seeing where it takes me to.
So
Yeah.
where did you do your studies?
I studied in KL, studied overseas for my uni in Australia.
Same, bro.
Sydney. I'm from Sydney. You?
Oh, I'm Melbourne.
Melbourne. Yeah. I have a lot of friends from Melbourne as well.
Okay.
So yeah, I came back.
When did you get back, and how many years do you spend at?
4 years in Australia. Yeah, I tried to stay there.
To get a PR.
To get a PR.
Same.
It didn't work out. So I guess have to come back.
Okay, what was your degree and the reason why you couldn't obtain the PR? Because I can share a bit also. It was similar for me. Yeah, but for you?
I actually studied actuarial science. That's like a maths. Yeah.
I know. Actual science is actually. Do you know Hungry Sam? You seen him
Yeah.
Hungry Sam. He did actual science as well. Yeah. The few things that comes to mind when people say actual science, you think hardworking, very smart. Is that true?
No lah, I'm like the total opposite of that.
That would mean that you couldn't pass lah, but you did pass, right? Did you?
I graduated. Not like the absolute top lah, because like I guess you have to be like kind of the top to actually find a job. So that's why like couldn't
serious
get,
ah?
yeah. You have to be like the top 10 because actuarial science is a very niche profession in the first place. Then it's not like it's not like accounting, like where you have like 100, 200 jobs. So it's like the market is only like probably like a year, maybe like 40 to 50 positions, right? So you have to be like within like the top 5 to 10%, to secure a job and all. Yeah,
You have to be stand out lah in
You
your,
have to stand out,
in your
definitely,
academics.
definitely, yeah.
Okay, so I mean, just like for you, you graduated and you passed, right? But would you say it's tougher? The 4 years.
Definitely it's tough. Definitely it's tough. I wouldn't say it's not tough. Definitely it's tough. But luckily managed to graduate from that. Yeah. But it was good. Like there's a lot of things you can take away from. What about you?
Yeah. So for me, right, dude, I went right after high school.
Okay.
Right. Did my college there, foundation.
Okay, foundation there.
There's this place called Trinity College where
my friend went there as well.
yeah. So a lot of international students would go there. The local Australian people they don't. I don't know whether they can't, but I don't think there was anyone local. It's all international students.
Yep.
Yeah. So I took business school.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Then there's a couple of fields you could choose from. Economics, finance, accounting, all.
Yep.
I chose a field where I would say right now I think it's super general, and I don't really see. I can understand why there's not much demand for it. I took business management. Okay. So what is business management? Essentially, it's learning about how to manage people, right? To be a manager.
Okay.
But if you were to run a company and to hire someone who has a management degree but no experience in managing people, it's a whole different thing, lah.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's
so I did that. Could not find a permanent, a full-time job there after I graduate. So to pursue your PR, right, you need to
you get sponsored, right?
that's one way to do it. Another way to do it, you accumulate points, which is what you also went through. You accumulate points, and then through the accumulation of points, things that are included is your qualifications, right? Your education. Management wasn't in the list. Accounting was on the list. If you were from if you were from business school, it's accounting. And I ended up doing early childhood education. Yes, which is not something I had in mind at all. But it was a 1-year course, and it was on the skilled list. Long story short, I did that, and by the time I did that, the requirements to
changed,
got higher and higher. And then when I came back in 2020, and then COVID hit, right? Then the points all dropped. And then after I started the podcast already, the agent called me, say,
"Hey, do you want to come back?"
And then I'm getting advertisements now on my Instagram saying there are 320 vacant spots, immigration spots in Melbourne, in Australia right now, and I'm getting these ads. I'm like, I don't know why it's showing me this now.
Wrong time.
Wrong time. You did extra science there. Did you try to find a role, but
I tried to find a role. Couldn't really land a role there. So
did you actually get to do interviews, or they look at your grades and then they write you off straight?
I think they wrote me off. Firstly, I think like cause you're not PR, right? So like the strange thing is like it's like a chicken and egg thing. You got to be like a PR, unless like you're fantastically outstanding, then they can overlook that and try to bring you into a company to sponsor you. But if you're not, then there's a very low chance to go through.
Which it makes sense. Why would a company invest money, time in training you, whatever, and then 2 years later or 18 months later you have to go back?
You have to go back.
They rather hire a local person.
That's true. That's true.
And dude, how about in high school or growing up, dude? How were you like, man?
I guess pretty similar to where I am now. I think I attended I would say an English educated.
Did you go to public school, private school?
I would call it private. I think it wasn't so clearly defined like 20 years back. But not public school.
Which school, if you don't mind I ask?
Champaka? Sri Champaka.
Champaka.
Yeah.
Got some buddies from there too.
Where are you from? KDU or?
No. I'm from Bandar Utama 4.
Bandar Utama 4.
Yeah,
I have a few friends there. So,
Bandar Utama 4. So you're 1990 what?
92.
Bro, we're not that far
Yourself?
apart. I'm 94.
94. Okay.
So
BU 4.
yeah, tell me the
You know
the boys.
Chong Yan.
Yes, I know Chong Yan.
your year lah.
No, Chong. No,
Should
Chong
be a
Yan
year.
is one year
One year
younger than you, bro.
1 year younger.
Yeah.
Yeah. Correct.
You know these names in high school. I
Yeah,
definitely I definitely remember that name. Now I'm not too sure so whether the face I attached to it is correct already. I haven't seen these people since high school.
10
bro.
years past. Yeah.
Yeah. So in school, were you like introverted, extroverted kid?
You know, people always tell me like I'm extroverted. So I guess I am, but I guess I'm also half and half because sometimes I just like to stay at home. So, but people tell me like, hey, you're so extroverted. So, okay, never mind. whatever. Yeah. But in school, probably not so much. In school, I wasn't that popular. Just going through high school. But it was okay.
Smart?
Okay lah, I guess.
Just
Like,
pass her.
I wouldn't say just pass. I mean, like, I was in the first class, but like somewhere around middle. Yeah, so I don't know if it's smart or not there, but yeah, it's not. Yeah. Okay, yeah.
I used to think when I was in high school, right? I only graduated with 2 A's. Do you take SPM?
Yeah, I took SPM. Yeah.
Yeah, I graduated with 2 A's. Yeah,
Great,
yourself?
I think I got 8 A's.
Yeah, you're smart, bro.
No lah, perspective lah. Like there's a few people like who got like straight A's, 9 A's, 10 A's. Like then it's like okay lah, I'm not that smart.
Yeah, and then you hear, I think this year.
But of course,
SPM
different perspective.
So did you play much sports? Were you active?
Yeah, I was. I'm quite into sports.
What did you play?
I like to do like football. I still play futsal these days.
Serious?
Yeah. Even though I'm getting old. So like I did badminton.
Badminton?
Yeah.
You still play?
Not so much, but like COVID time, I still play once in a while. Yeah. Nowadays, no lah, because kids and all. Yeah. And then like as people grow older, like your friends, they get less and less active, so you get less friends.
Got more excuses.
Yeah.
Bro, I'm playing tonight lah.
Badminton.
Yeah. But futsal, I haven't played futsal. I played once since I got back in 2020 from Melbourne. Futsal, is super straining, man, on your body. At this age lah, if you're playing now.
Yeah.
And then some people still play football. You know, they go in those turf pitch.
Yeah.
Run the full court.
Yeah.
That one is crazy lah, bro.
Yeah, I just went like 2 months back, like to the turf, and then like we were playing with like maybe 20 plus. Some are like maybe 18 or 19. Got tapao. So it's like, but okay lah. You don't set, like I said, don't set too high expectation. You just think like, okay lah, they're 18 and 19. They're supposed to tapao you. So just
they are supposed to tapao you,
so
bro.
just play for fun. Yeah. Just admit that life is catching up to you.
And then after that, you feel like the next day, like you feel like going to a car crash.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Okay, like dude, let's talk about your. This is the big question lah. So are you playing a character, bro? What's up, guys? If this is your first time watching this podcast, maybe it's your second time watching this podcast, could you do me a solid favor? If you enjoyed the episode so far, or you enjoyed previous episodes, made you laugh, you learned something from it, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment, your thoughts, suggestions, what you think about this episode right now, and who you would like to see in future podcast episodes, and enjoy the rest of the episode. Yeah.
Okay. I think
you explain.
Yeah, I think it used to be of course, Bobby Saputra blew up last year, 2024. So I did imitated some of his content, but props to him lah. I mean, it's not easy to do his kind of content.
It's not.
Yeah, because you have to there's a lot of planning, production, right? And
production. That's the word.
Production. Yeah, production. It means like finding the cast, finding the backgrounds,
paying the models.
Maybe I don't know, because like he's big enough, so maybe you can invite people.
I don't think he pays all of them, and in fact, I think maybe at this point he maybe doesn't pay any of them. Because it's fun content, right? They probably would like to do it as well, and this is how social media works. You collab with each other, get some of each other's followers. That's how it works.
That's how it works. Yeah. And he do it very well. I think he do it very well. Yeah.
One thing that also, because he's like playing super spoiled kid, right? and he has that accent also, so it really just fits the picture lah. I think that's what makes it also why a lot of people like it lah, because he has that accent.
Yeah. Surprisingly, do you know he's from Germany?
You see, right, bro?
Yeah.
The other day, not the other day, last few months ago, my buddy who's from Jakarta, right, good friend from Melbourne as well. He told me, he said that because I sent him Bobby's account, and he said, you know, he's playing a character, right? And I swear I didn't know.
Oh, you didn't know?
Bro, I didn't know. I thought he was literally in the top 10 probably richest families or whatever. And it's just maybe a little exaggerated. I thought, you know, and then I realized, like, is that really his dad? You know, it's not that. He looks really young, you know.
Okay. Just to put it in perspective, we're talking a lot about Bobby, but you know, it's a good case study to understand.
Sure.
He's actually like our age, I think, 32, 33. And then that friend of his is actually like probably 38.
Oh, Virgil was it?
Yeah. Spoiler.
No lah, it's already out there right now.
Already out there, yeah. So, okay, but they're actually cool guys. I'm not hating on them. Yeah, but I'm just like, you know, explaining what I see. So, they're playing a character. It looks good. Yeah, it's fun. It's great content.
The $1 million question: who's richer, you or Bobby Saputra?
No, I guess, no, I guess he's pretty wealthy now. Yeah, I'm just trying to do some fun content as well. Yeah, the reason why, you know, I think wealth also attracts a lot of people.
Definitely.
Right? Yeah, wealth attracts a lot of people. So one thing I can say is like, don't believe social media too much. Yeah, don't believe social media too much.
Also referring to your content also.
Yeah, don't believe the content too much. Believe half lah.
All the cars, all the watches. In fact, you're wearing a watch right now. What you wearing, bro?
Yeah. So this is a Rolex.
Yeah. Perhaps can show the camera. Rolex.
Yeah. It could be fake. It could not be fake. But that's up for you guys to debate.
Can you tell?
Huh?
Like,
I can tell.
From those AAA grades, you can tell.
I can tell. Yeah,
how do you tell? In case maybe
you guys want to have a look?
Sure. In case I think I'm not sure whether you can tell. I'm not very super materialistic. I don't know much about supercars or cars in general. Watches, or my dad likes watches. Or yeah. No, I say I can't tell. But what I was saying is, how would you be able to tell actually? Just from the
weight. First thing, weight. I mean, if you handle enough timepiece, you know the difference.
That's very obvious.
Yeah, you know the difference. What is white gold? What is stainless steel? What is yellow gold? Second is the finishing. Finishing on the dials. Finishing, whether you have defects on it, basically. So of course, AAA grade. Nowadays the grades are getting very good, so you probably cannot spot it from the outside. But second is just like the feel of the watch and the the movements itself.
Okay, so
like if you touch like just like for Brian touch, right, you just feel like the edges here, right? Just feel like these 4 edges here, right?
Sharp.
So sharp, right? Yeah, you feel like the edges here. All right. So these are good finishing, crisp, sharp, right? But AAA grade, maybe you won't find it so crisp, right? Because like you actually need like precision machines to do it to this standard.
Watchmaking.
So like watchmaking. So it might be a bit rounded. You know, it might be a bit soft. Material might be a bit soft.
How much would that cost? That piece of
this one? 230
ringgit.
230 ringgit. Yeah.
1,000.
Yeah, it could come in 230 ringgit.
Okay. So are you serious? 230,000.
Yeah. 230,000 for this one because if you guys know, this is a meteorite dial. So basically, they take a piece of meteor as the dial, as the surface of the watch. So this piece is 230,000.
Like, wait, when you say a meteorite, like you're talking about?
Yeah, literally the meteorite from the sky.
Yeah,
you know?
They took a piece of that.
Yeah, apparently there are like lots of meteorite.
Of course,
dropping to the ground out of Earth. Yeah. So I guess companies buy them up, slice them up.
Like where did they put it? That part
you can see here, like the surface, the dial. You can see like this special. Usually it's just like black or white, but you can see like the differences. Yeah.
put it.
So if you know watches, this type of dial, like the white, you can actually show the camera.
Yeah, I will.
That's like a meteorite finishing. That's a classic meteorite finishing.
Yeah. No, bro. Seriously, do share because I'm ignorant to a lot of this stuff, but it's interesting to know.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So guys, if you can just see behind the needle, that's the meteorite finishing. Yeah, bro. When you said 230, right? I was thinking like what 23,000 is it? I was thinking like that. But oh really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, 230,000 ringgit.
Yeah. This is one of
retail. I think this is like 160. I think can't remember. So like that's the premium on it. That's the market value of the watch.
Okay.
So like if you go to a Rolex boutique, they'll sell you for like 100, probably 170. I can't remember the retail.
And that is without the meteorite finishing, is it?
That's the meteorite finishing.
But how come yours is 230?
No, that's the secondary market. Like
please explain.
After
bro.
sale market.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, so like watches like this, they you can actually resell them on the secondary market. So like some watches, when you bring it out of the boutique, right, it actually like the retail price cuts in half. So like if you buy it 50,000, it'll go down to like 30,000. But Rolex as a brand is so well known, so in demand, that their pieces actually go up in value.
Because there's limited.
Yeah, limited, lots of people want it, demand and supply.
And also limited as in once they have done making how many, the quantity of that, they will not make any more new ones. That's why the value goes up. Is that correct?
Not limited edition. So they don't cap the number of pieces. But it's like 1 year they probably do like probably 100 pieces.
But what
the limited production, that would be the
okay, but I still don't get it because you said that from one owner to the next owner the value can go up.
Yeah.
How come?
Because like if you want to find a watch like this, okay, if you want to go into Rolex and actually buy a watch like this, you can't. Because first, there's a whole story about you need to have a purchase history. You need to build a relationship with them.
I've heard stuff like that. Like Birkin bags is something like that, right?
Similar. You need to build a relationship with them. You need to have bought other stuff with them.
Like how Rosma has a good relationship.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty good. I mean, even if she doesn't have like, I think like just her status alone, she can just like walk in.
You're right.
Yeah. But like, yeah, so a little bit more of that if that's interesting. Yeah, build a relationship, buy stuff.
Okay, bro,
from
sorry
them.
I still don't get. You're talking about the price go up 20-30%, when pass on to the next person. How come?
Yeah, potentially. Like I said,
it's just
you can't get it because you can't get it. You can't buy it. Those who know, you will know if you're into the watch game. You can't buy it. So the only way you can obtain one is you can buy it from the second market, secondary market, and people charge a premium on that.
Yeah, okay.
That's why some pieces when you walk out of the boutique and you sell it to a reseller, we call it, you can sell it like 20,000-30,000 profit.
Oh my god, dude! So I always thought that buying super expensive watches is straight up expenses, but you actually can earn some money with that.
Yeah. Some people think that it's investment. A lot. Yeah, but it could lose value lah. Of course, like I think in 2022 this went up to like 280,000.
I see.
Now it's back down to maybe 200 plus. I didn't keep up.
It fluctuates.
Fluctuates, yeah.
It could go up again also, depending on whatever demand. Yeah.
So like you go for the rarer pieces because those are the pieces where value will stay.
Yeah, bro. The next question, dude. How were you able to accumulate this much wealth? To be able to afford all this stuff. And also, I'm assuming, is that the most expensive watch you have?
It's not. Yeah, it's not.
It's not.
Yeah, just to be truthful, it's not.
Mind sharing.
I'm sure my followers have seen a few pieces as well. Mind sharing what watch?
Yes, sir.
I mean,
don't be shy, bro.
Yeah. Patek Philips are generally more expensive.
Okay.
Yeah, they are like 300 plus.
300 plus thousand. Okay. My dad's got some of those. I don't think it's.
Oh, that's good.
I don't think it's that range.
But I'm sure, like, if your dad bought it previously, I guess vintage Pateks are going quite well. You can get quite a good value for it.
So it's also similar, as in once you go to the secondary market, it could go up, it could go down.
Yeah, definitely. It's mostly because of demand and supply.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like a lot of people, if like a specific model is nice, it's hot, it looks very good, it will go up.
Let's say, right, Sunny, this hot Netflix series, and then the lead actor is wearing that watch the whole time, and you can see it.
Yeah.
Value just
So like there's this specific model, the Daytona, the yellow gold with green face.
Patek Philippe, you mean?
No, Rolex. Yeah. So that one, there was a celebrity who wore it. And it, at first, like, I think like 5 years back, no one wanted it because yellow gold, right? Who wants to wear yellow gold? Because, young people don't like yellow gold, right? It's only for old uncles, right? Uncles who wear yellow gold, right? So it's like, no one wanted it. Then this guy came out, wore it. The green was quite good. Then people start hyping it up.
Which actor, bro? If you remember.
John Mayer.
The artist, the
the artist, the singer. Yeah. So now they even reference that specific model as the John Mayer. So yeah, once you say the John Mayer, everyone knows the John Mayer Daytona. So
yeah, okay. Dude, so you have a lot of supercars as well?
A few.
A few. How many lah, bro?
Probably like 2 or 3 .
Would you say, because a lot of people always would say cars is not a good investment, but is it similar as in limited editions? Let's say your Rolls Royce, right? That's you own the Rolls Royce.
Yeah, I own it.
Yes. Would you say secondary market it also goes up? Is it similar?
Nah.
It's different.
It has to be a. Generally, cars will lose value. Yeah. That's just it. Even supercars will lose value. Only the very limited edition. Yeah.
I guess it's different because cars there's like a life to it. The durability all will go down and all.
Yeah. There's maintenance, and then there's road tax, there's insurance, right? So, I actually think that cars and investment is not a good idea. Watches as an investment, yes, because you just buy the watches and you can wear it.
And watch is not something like after you wear, if you take good care of it, it's not gonna just wear out like that.
Yeah. So like cars, like if you don't fix the tires. If you leave it there too long, tires will flatten. Then you have to change tires. Tires on supercars are like $5,000 one tire, so it's like 20,000 just to change the tires. If you don't use it, electronics spoil. So like a lot, very mafan one.
Dude, yeah, okay. So after we wind back also. Yeah. So after university, you were not able to find an actual actuarial role in Sydney, Australia. Then you came back here.
Yeah.
What happened, man? After that?
I just worked a job. One thing I would say is that it's not as if I suddenly got rich, right? But of course, my family did well as well. Yeah. So I had a family business, so so there's less stress on me, to actually survive. So, but I took some investments there, made a few investments of my own, but yeah, majority is still like because I came from a average family, so I didn't have so much burden. Yeah.
Okay, you say you came from average family. You mean when you were
when I was a kid? Yeah.
Okay. Actually, also average, there's standards to it.
Yeah.
So let's say some people can say that if you went to a private school, you wouldn't consider it average. Yeah. But of course, if you're surrounded by people all in private schools, right, your friends or your peers, they would think that it's average.
Yeah. I mean, like, okay, to put it in perspective, right, when I was in the school, right, I was like, oh, that's definitely rich kids, right? There's rich kids around, right? Because like you see, like the schools, like they always have like a half yearly kind of like vacation, like school trip.
Sure.
And those are like freaking expensive one. I didn't go because like I didn't want to put burden on my family.
Your parents.
Yeah. But like there are like kids like who can go every year. So different perspective, different levels. Yeah.
And those trips it's not like going to the Zoo Negara like that.
No, it's like going to like
Japan,
Bali like that, like to go island. Maybe not Bali, like some local island.
I remember in my high school, we had school trip to the butterfly farm. Yeah, serious.
In high school,
Yeah, high school butterfly farm U4. Went to they call it mint factory, but it's the Royal Mint Factory, if I can remember. It's they show how you make the shillings.
Royal Selangor. Yeah, my kid just went.
Oh, serious?
Yeah.
Yeah, bro. Also, interesting topic also. Right, I wanna talk about because just had your third child, right? Yeah, congrats on that.
Thanks, man.
Boy, girl?
It's a boy.
It's a boy.
Yeah.
And your other two?
Also boys.
All boys.
Yeah.
Which is
freaking noisy.
freaking noisy, and I'm guessing you were
Chaos.
hoping to get a daughter.
Yeah.
Because bro, I've got two siblings as well.
Uh-huh.
All 3 boys.
3 boys.
Yes.
But okay lah. It's not to say it's bad lah. 3 boys has advantages as well.
Of course.
You can grow up.
Oh, you can. I mean, I guess you can do more bonding, dad-son bonding activities, play sports together.
Hopefully. Yeah.
No, dude. I wanted to talk about this because you went to private school as well, and you mentioned just now.
Yeah.
You see, for me, right, bro, I was from public school, and then the neighborhood private school, we would also always we will gossip lah, and they will say, oh, those rich kids are damn spoiled. They're always very lancy like that. But obviously, there's a lot of kids from private school as well, and they don't adopt that attitude lah, being lancy as well.
Yeah.
So for you yourself, right, what did you think back then lah, of those like kids like that? Your experience with hanging out with let's just say not only rich but spoiled, stuck
okay
up.
not to say spoiled, stuck up, maybe some attitude here and there. All right, I mean, you have, even in public school, I'm sure like there's a few kids who are like who have this kind of attitude like now.
No, there's many.
So it's like, but different because like the richer ones will stick together, but because like they can do the same things together, they live in the same neighborhood. Actually, I had to travel like 30 minutes last time to get to school.
Where did you stay growing up?
Stay in OUG. Oakland Road there. Yeah. So like 30 minutes. So like, but anyway, that's another thing lah. So like kids will kind of group together. Like it's just normal. That's just life. So like there's this group of kids. They can enjoy life. They can do their things. Stuck up, no lah. I guess not to say super stuck up. Just that different interests. Different
interests, as in different hobbies.
Different hobbies, maybe different life interests.
Different opportunities.
Definitely. I'm not gonna deny that.
Yeah. I remember right when first time I actually was exposed to kids from international public school. Right, international school or private schools was when I went overseas to study. So obviously you meet a lot of these students over there. And I remember this Singaporean kid, right, that was telling me, oh, my hobby is snowboarding. Then I'm thinking like, Malaysia don't have snow. Singapore also don't have snow. Yeah.
That's when that's the hidden privilege.
Yeah. And then also another friend I had, and she told me that the only fish that I eat is salmon and codfish. Like, what?
Yeah, so like...
And sorry, she's not... I mean... That friend was not trying to be arrogant. She's not. It was just like it was a naive statement from that person.
That's what I wanted to say also. Sometimes it's not like they are flexing or showing off.
They're not.
It's just
sometimes.
like that's their upbringing. So like you can't fault them on that. Right?
Yeah.
Generally, most of them are nice people. Yeah.
You're talking about meeting people from rich
Wealthy
backgrounds.
Background. Yeah.
That's something I really do agree with a lot lah. They're just people that they're nice and they just like to. I guess they have more opportunities. They can have more fun.
Yeah. So like, I mean, sad to say, but that's life. Because like. To put it to perspective, like you went overseas to study, right? There's lots of people who didn't have the opportunity to do that.
Yeah.
So like they will say like, oh, hey, you study overseas, you must have come from a rich family, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, then you take a step back and you think, hey, maybe you say, hey, I'm not that rich, right? But I did had the chance to go overseas to study. So it's like, maybe I came from an okay background, that kind of thing. So. But as long as you grow up to be a decent people, don't get too arrogant or stuck up. So yeah.
Just now I was talking about this, right? How old is your oldest child right now?
Yeah, he's 5. Yeah.
Let's be honest lah. Do you spoil him?
Really depends how you define spoil. Yeah.
Let's define spoil.
Yeah, let's define spoil. Like if you say like he has like 3 mates to take care of him, then no lah. Yeah. He's not like he's going. Okay, we do go vacation once in a while, maybe like twice a year. Yeah, but that's because okay lah, to tell you they can be spoiled, but I choose not to spoil them as well. Yeah, it's just the mentality on how you want to treat your kids. Yeah.
There's also the right time to spoil and the right time. I mean, and a time that you shouldn't spoil, right?
You see, I always have the thought like, hey, should you spoil your kids? You know, but like, it really depends on the environment you put them in. If their friends are like all doing the same thing and like, okay, you know, you like they're going to like a field trip, right?
Yeah.
And then that field trip costs like 1,000 ringgit.
Yeah.
But you say, hey, I don't want to spoil them, so I don't want them to go to that field trip. But actually, like, you're actually denying them the opportunity to mingle with their friends, right? Yeah. And they didn't choose to do that. You are the one who put them in that position.
Yeah.
So if you don't want to spoil them, yeah, you can put them into public school, which I'm actually planning to. I'm putting them into a Chinese school. Yeah. So yeah, then just let them grow up. Yeah.
Any schools in mind yet?
No. But probably a Chinese
school,
public school. Yeah. Train their Mandarin.
Are you can you speak Chinese?
I can't. Actually, I can, but not very good. So I'm like a banana. Yeah.
Okay.
Are you a banana?
Yeah, full banana.
Full banana. So you can't even speak.
I can understand a bit lah.
Understand a bit lah. Okay.
So that is the lesson that you learned lah, which is you definitely want to put your kids in Chinese school because it's just an advantage to have the extra language.
It's definitely. And then like, you know, China is such a big country, such a big market to be in. So why put your kids to be in that position?
You've been to China?
I've been to China, yeah.
Recently?
Quite recent.
I went to China, Xinjiang. You know Xinjiang? Yeah, I went to Xinjiang last year, right? Before that, I went to China when I was a kid, maybe 5, 6. Okay, and I remembered. I'm not sure if you went that time also.
Yeah. Like mostly kampong.
Bro, is this image, right? This I don't remember many things. The toilet I will never forget, right? Toilets over there.
Yeah.
People they piss and shit, right? Some of them they just open the door. I don't know, it's just their I don't know, the culture is just like that. But another thing that stood out, right, was the beggars. They were everywhere, bro. Like in big cities, there was just beggars everywhere. And when I went to Xinjiang last year, right, dude, even the small towns. So Xinjiang is pretty much West China, lah.
Yep.
Yeah. The small towns also, right, bro, I didn't see a single beggar, not even one. And even in the so-called small towns, right, their cities have really, really high-rise metropolitan buildings and a lot of them. And this is in the span of 20 years.
Yeah,
it's changed a lot, man. You would know also, right?
Definitely if you go to like, I went to Shanghai.
Yeah.
I went to Guangzhou. Definitely like you can see the difference in like a top tier country versus even in Malaysia, because we are still a building nation.
We are
emerging nation.
I don't know the right term. I remember going to China and thinking, because it's still not easy to converse in just English there.
Yeah.
And I was thinking like, wow, they're so developed. Now I thought they would, be able to speak more English. Then I realized like there's not much of a need for them to learn Chinese. Perhaps maybe if they want to learn it, just what do you call that? They like Western culture. Maybe they like their arts. They like music or whatever. But a majority of China people, they do business in China. They don't have to speak. They don't have to be good in speaking English actually.
Yeah.
So
but I mean, for us, I guess, to have the added language, why not? Because like even I can converse in Chinese, but it's still freaking hard because you can't really understand first their accent. Then like there are some terms that are like the real Chinese terms. It's like your Malaysian Chinese, right? Even even if you're not a banana, if you are like just a normal Chinese speaking
Chinese
person,
school educated,
right, you may not understand the things in China.
I think something that you can compare it to is us speaking Malay and Indonesian.
Yeah.
It's something like that, right?
Something like that. Yeah.
Is for you to actually, let's say we are Malaysian and then you want to pick up the Indo language, right? Probably not too hard, but it'll take you some time.
Yeah.
To actually be able to converse properly. Yeah.
And it's not just Chinese. I mean, like Malays, Indians, a lot of them are sending their kids to Chinese school.
Bro, I think I saw a stat, 18%, if I'm not mistaken, 18% are non-Chinese students in Chinese schools, and it wasn't the case back then. Yeah. But also at the same time, there's a whole side of people that want to, about they want to abolish the Chinese schools.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah, because they say that it causes disunity. That's the main. People would say it's a political tool.
Yeah.
I don't understand it. What I think is ideal, right? And I had this lady on, Deborah Henry. She also was talking about this, right? I think what would be ideal is you have a public school system. Okay, obviously we are everyone has to learn Malay because it's our national language, English as well. But you have the option to pick up an elective language of your choice, which is Chinese or Indian. Tamil. Sorry, Tamil. Yes. Yeah. So it's up to you lah. Maybe you can pick up. You can even choose to learn both. If you're a Malay person, maybe you can even choose to learn both Mandarin and Tamil. Yeah. But I think it's in a way it's saying like we don't actually need the Chinese school, but it's been around for a long time. So people want the Chinese community want to protect their heritage,
But that's the thing. Actually, I've read the piece. Like, actually, it's not an easy solution for this. Even like Ministry of Education is having a hard time trying to figure out what's the good balance for it. So like, if even they can't come up with a solution, then there's no easy answer.
Okay, let's try and think about it for a while. We're not experts here. We're just discussing. So, yeah, you want to, one side wants to remove it, right? Remove it completely. But it's a lot more complicated than that because first of all, there's a lot of students there, right? And then and also it's something that is of sentimental value to Chinese community. But if you actually think about it, right, like, is it a necessity for a Chinese school to exist? If you can have a public school whereby you provide the option for alternative languages already, additional languages, do you actually need the Chinese school? Then I thought about it, because as someone who's also Chinese, right, I've always thought like, oh, why must I abolish Chinese school? Why must I abolish? Doesn't make any sense. Then you think about it, right, like, if you're talking about protecting your culture, your heritage, all that can be done in other places, celebrations. When you hang out with your relatives or whatever, you still preserve your Chinese cultures there. Maybe it doesn't have to be in school. That's one way I look at it. But yeah, it is complicated, man.
A question is like, do you feel like, hey, I should have learned Chinese back then, like in your high school days, or even your middle school days? Like, should you have had, even though it's your parents who put you in that school, right?
Yes.
But would you like to have a command of that English now?
The Chinese language?
Yeah, Chinese language.
100%.
Yeah.
What happens is, okay, so I noticed this, like, let's say I go and play badminton, right? And then I want to go change my string break, go inside the shop.
Yeah.
And then I talk to the guy, I say, hey, I want to change my string. And in Chinese, in badminton community, a lot of the Chinese people are not so good at English. And then they feel shy, right, to talk. And then when I was younger, right, I would think of it as, you just think all sorts of things that are not accurate, which is maybe they're lancy, friendly, or I never thought this way, but a bad way, a really shallow way to think of it is, oh, they're stupid. But the way I look at it now is it's just unfortunate, because the truth is, right, I can't speak their language too, so there's nothing to look down. It's just unfortunate because language is the key a big key to just getting people to click.
It's actually just communication. Yeah,
it is, bro.
But coming back to like the school, like whether is it necessary to do it? I actually feel it could be necessary, because like the reason why it's like practically wise, like if you want to get good in Chinese, because Chinese is like the freaking hardest language in the world.
True.
Right? If you want to be good, in Chinese, you need to speak it every day. In a public school, sekolah kebangsaan, you're definitely not going to do that because you're either you'll probably be speaking Malay or English, right? That's why a lot of bananas are from the public schools. And the Chinese school are the ones who maybe sekolah rendah, they went to a Chinese sekolah rendah, and then that's how they build up their Chinese.
So you're saying that you're talking about a public school, right? Government school, not a non-Chinese school that probably has Chinese classes, and you're saying it's not sufficient.
It's not sufficient. Yeah, it's not sufficient. Because
if you have Chinese...
It could be sufficient, but it's not good enough. Because you will lose it when you grow up. It's not enough to mempupuk, to bring up that Chinese language. It's not enough. Yeah. Because if your friends are like speaking all like English and Malay, you don't have a chance to practice your Chinese, then you're just going to slowly lose it.
I mean, you only pretty much practice it during Chinese class, which is like, let's say at most, maybe you have 2 classes a week, so maybe 2 hours a week, like that.
Because I actually did that in my school. I went to Chinese class, then like because everyone was speaking English, then I just spoke English, and then like my Chinese, I just put it on the back burner.
Oh, you actually took Chinese
I had
in
like
school.
Chinese classes, but then like I dropped it.
Did you take for SPM Chinese?
No, I didn't take SPM. Yeah, it's like elective classes. Like then like up to like standard 4th and 5.
Oh, primary level.
Primary level, yeah.
Okay.
Then like in the end, just drop it because like not enough interest. There's no need to use it at that age. Like if I can remember, it's like there's no need to use it. Then like you lose interest in learning it. But looking back at it now, I should have learned it. I should have.
Yeah.
But if you were in an environment like that, then you're like, okay, you need to converse in Chinese, right? Then you build up that mastery until like Form 1, Form 2. Yeah, then it will serve you better.
Okay, understand. Like for you to be able to fully communicate and just be able to speak fluently, right? You would say that that's the reason why you should have a Chinese school.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, which is all the reasons why it's such a complicated topic. But also there's also that. Then there's this other argument where it says it causes disunity. So do you believe in that?
No, I don't think so. All this world is like that. The reason why it will cause disunity is when you bring up the topic of disunity. No one will actually think about disunity until you actually someone from some party who bring it up. Then you start thinking, and then you start bringing all the racial things.
You see, I can't agree with you more, but I struggle every time to think. Right? It's like I'm trying to nowadays. I tell myself like, you have to like remove yourself from whatever you've been your thoughts and your perspectives since you were growing up, because we are Chinese, so I also feel that way because I've got Chinese friends from Chinese schools. I cannot say that they're racist or what, because if you are racist, then you're racist lah. Maybe it doesn't have anything to do with a Chinese school or Malay school or whatever. If you're racist, you're a racist person. You're not. You probably weren't taught well, but hopefully you learn and you change. But to say that the Chinese school is causing disunity, is like, for that to be true, right? It's like the Chinese school has to be preaching, bad things about other races or whatever.
Other races, yes, and other languages.
Which we know that Chinese school they're so much they're just focused on the academics.
Yeah. I totally agree, because I just want to take this point because like it's been on my mind for the longest time.
Talk about it. Bro.
Yeah, which is like, what is racism? Like racism is like people hating on one another, right? Right. I think nowadays people are like using the word racism too freely. Like if you're just like doing Chinese stuff, then you say, "Hey, you're racist, lah." But then it's like you are just doing things that are inherently to your culture. So I feel racism is like, you really hate or you really dislike that certain race lah. But if like you're just joking around, like, okay, just minor jokes, you don't really like have an intention, that's more like prejudice, which is like not racism lah.
Yeah, prejudice as in it's just your preference of activity.
Yeah.
If you wanna clear what I think is a clear definition of what a racist is, right? You have the KKK lah, Ku Klux Klan, which is white supremacists from America that was very significant in the, I say, early 20th century, right? They are a group of people, organized group, where they actually they were lynching black people. Okay, lynching, which is
Yep.
hanging black people, and for what reason? Just because of the color of the skin. So that's what you call a racist person, or yeah. Maybe you're referring to all the negative comments that we see nowadays, right?
Yeah.
So if you actually follow any sort of political news in our country, right, bro, that is, you see so much of that shit,
Yeah.
and it's very it's sad. It's sad to see that shit, and people are throwing all sorts of terms, labels, throwing it all around. Anti-Islam, anti-Malay or whatever. I don't know, man, bro. Dude, remember the recent? I don't know whether you saw this one.
Yeah.
There was this Chinese school where they were singing Negara, where they said that they were singing Negaraku in, they were singing Negaraku in Chinese.
Okay.
Did you hear about the news?
I did not.
Okay, this was I think 2 months ago or last month.
Okay.
It was a so I guess the right wing parties, right, Malay parties, were trying to portray that the Chinese school is trying to Chinesify the
I know.
Mandarinify the.
I can see it from a mile away what they are thinking.
So they were trying
how they were portraying it. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what they're trying to do. Okay. It turns out what it was actually is they were singing the Perak song, state song, official Perak state song.
Okay.
Literally, they were singing it in Malay.
Okay.
But
Okay.
people couldn't understand, but perhaps it sounded a bit Chinese because they've got accents.
Okay.
But what happened was that girl that posted that video is a cyber trooper. She's a public cyber trooper.
Yeah.
She was trying to set an attack, I guess. Put that shit out there, and then she took it down after 10 minutes, like that, because she probably thought like, oh shit, this is not
Went
gonna
viral.
no, this is probably not legit enough to sell. Like, people are not stupid enough to believe this.
Okay.
Yeah, so she took it down after 10 minutes, but it still got viral. Yeah, and it's funny because even the Malay community were all attacking her. They're like, what the fuck, bro? This is the Perak song.
Yeah.
So it was a bad attempt at slandering, I guess. Yeah. So when they went and interview her or question her why you posted something like that, then her explanation is like, oh, I took it down after 10 minutes, and then people still want to talk about it. Like, bro, you say something racist, right? Then you take it down, right? It doesn't mean that you didn't say it.
Yeah. You're just afraid of the consequences.
Yeah.
I think that's the dangers of social media. It's just like people are taking things too literally and, taking things too extremely.
I mean, in this the game they play now in politics, right? The amount of money that they spend on hiring people to either vouch for one side or slander the other side, there's a lot of money that they put in, man. It's a real thing,
Yeah. People actually hire cyber troopers, like you said, to do this shit.
Have you actually heard of people that do stuff like that or know of? Like, I'm not asking you to say names, but have you heard?
I've heard. Nowadays, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I won't name brands.
Don't name brands. Bro.
Yeah.
Don't get in trouble. But say it's an open thing already nowadays.
Yeah. It's like there's this brand, this big brand, right? Yeah. They actually have like a team. That's what I heard, hearsay. They have a team to actually like promote negative reviews for their competitors, and this is a very big brand.
Yeah, this is not politics.
It's a brand. It's in business world, but it could happen in politics. Politics definitely will happen. We already know it. It does.
This is so not surprising, right? Would you say it's a mega corporation?
Yeah, it's a mega corporation listed.
Yeah. So let's think back to a very old case. I think maybe you've heard of this before. Last time, the big hit or the big focus was on cholesterol. Cholesterol is super horrible for you. It's the killer. Then after that, I saw a video that was explaining that this was a research done it was a paid research done by one of the credible universities. Can't remember, maybe Harvard or whatever. One of the what do you call that? The researchers from those universities, they did a piece trying to angle it as cholesterol is the enemy. And who were the people that paid them to do so? Any idea?
KFC.
Coca-Cola, my friend.
Okay.
Yeah, Coca-Cola, right? Which is what's in Coca-Cola?
Okay,
What's the
Sugar.
yes,
Yeah.
what's inside Coca-Cola that's going to kill you? And a huge ingredient, a big part of their ingredients is sugar. So yeah, they paid the researchers from the top universities to make a big hit. And it worked, bro. And it's crazy, man, because back then news doesn't spread as fast as it does today, so it's crazy to think like something like that was going on for decades. It had an effect for decades, and then a lot of scientists come out and talk about cholesterol and explaining like there's also a lot of good functions for cholesterol. I'm not going to pretend like I know the details, but yeah, this is a popular thing that was exposed. Yeah.
So it really comes back so the dangers of social media.
Yeah. Hey bro, you also get a lot of haters, right?
Yeah. Do
Yeah.
I? Do I?
I didn't see much, but then I didn't see much. But I asked because I have a buddy that follows you.
Yeah.
So I asked him, any stuff you wanna you want me to ask or think that I should ask? Then he said, bro, I was one of his early followers.
Yeah.
Right? And he said early on he was getting a lot of heat. Now it slowed down, is it?
Was I getting a lot of heat? Maybe. Yeah. I think there were a few videos where I got some comments.
What was the response?
Oh, I mean, like, okay, there's a reason. To tell the truth, I did put out some rather controversial content.
I missed it, bro.
Yeah.
Please do.
There are like some where I, criticize, some businesses in Malaysia, right? Because like they were doing like.
Did you take down the video?
No, I didn't take down the video.
So which business was it?
It's like the car business, right? So like I noticed like there's this car business, like they always block the parking, right? They never pay for the parking in front. So I just posted a question. I was like, I didn't even post it. I made it kind of like a comedic video. I was like, hey, I need to find parking. But then like this car workshop, he's
I
blocking.
saw, bro.
Yeah. I think that one got quite a lot of hit, but actually I don't really care because I did it for a reason.
Yeah, so bro, I saw that video just yesterday. Okay, you're talking about workshops, which is a common thing. Every time when you want to find parking, right? Okay, there's always like this where you have false hope, where you think like, there's a glimmer of hope that you don't see any car. Then when you go there, the in that video that you posted, they put a tire there to choke the parking spot.
The parking, that's right.
And I always wondered, is it legal or not? So what do you know the answer to that?
No, it's legal only if you pay the majlis to book the parking. Like you actually book the parking because businesses actually do pay the majlis, right, to reserve a certain parking slot. For their customers. There are some that actually reserve, right? That's the red line. They reserve it for their customers.
Oh, the red line is a paid one?
Yeah, those are the paid one. They pay the monthly parking for it. Okay. So those that don't and they just block it there, they just think of it as their one. But some online, mostly I assume they are those who work at workshops. They say, hey, if you park at their parking spot, then they don't have any access to their workshop.
Yeah.
Right? But then my question is actually, is it legal? And is it fair?
Yes.
Because there are businesses who pay for a parking spot in front of their shop for their customers. Yes. They should do it, right? Yes. And if you don't, then it's legally open for everyone to park there, right? Even if you're on your way there. Then the second question is like, hey, then why do you open your shop, your workshop at a place, where you need access? And it's not fair, right? That's actually just my thought to provoke some thought into that. Yeah.
No, I think it's very straightforward, man. What you're saying is true, because how come some other workshop businesses they have to pay for it and then you don't?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because most people probably like me, they have no clue. I assume that if you're a workshop, right, for some reason the parking spot in front of yours, in front is already yours.
Yeah, it's just yours. Yeah, but is it fair? No. So because like there are those large car washes, right? They book out the whole parking lot. They pay for it.
Yeah.
So like, I mean, if they want the access to their workshops or to the car wash, then pay for it. Yeah.
Other negative comments, like do you get people saying, "Oh, this guy's a show off lah. They're just rich family or whatever."
Yeah, I get. Actually, those doesn't really affect me. No, some those affects me are like those who attack my looks are like, hey, you don't look that good. Which I agree. I may not look the best.
They must be
but
very
like,
handsome. Oh.
yeah, they must. I'm not sure. Do you get any comments of that sort, or have you had any negative comments? Yeah.
A lot of it is maybe some also this episode. I let me predict some lah for this episode. This host never do much research on blah blah blah, because I assume your viewers, they're all very into your supercars, right? There's a big hit with your followers. I'm not very I'm not knowledgeable on that, so probably that's some of the negative. But yeah, usually sometimes the host very blur or what. Dude, there's some right where they will write a long essay just talking about how I am, like, I don't want, like, I look like I'm so not interested and bored and don't want to be there. I'm like, hey man, you don't understand. This is one of my favorite guests. I was so excited for the podcast. I'm sorry my face looks like that lah. I don't have the most excited face, you know. People always say I look high lah. Okay, that's how I look lah. Okay, my eyes are just like that.
Yeah. Sometimes like it's just how we look lah.
Yeah. There was one that said you look like a blur sotong. You know what sotong?
Yeah.
It means lembik like that. Yeah. I didn't know what that meant lah. But then I asked the buddy and he told me.
Okay.
Yeah. Other negative stuff is usually when, dude, in Malaysia, you know, whenever political stuff come up, right, or any issues that involve race or whatever, there's going to be a lot of fighting and whatever lah.
Yeah.
People start saying shit that this podcast is an anti-Islam or whatever. And I had actually a Malay comedian on, right? Ayim Razak, and we were talking about, I forgot what we were talking about lah, but he was talking about, we were talking about something that past party did that they fucked up somehow lah, okay, and they were exposed like that, and then people start saying, oh, this Malay guy in my podcast actually is paid by me one. Like, what the fuck? Yeah. And it's crazy because I was after we did the podcast, right, I was expecting people to say that, and they did say that.
Yeah lah. So, but do you feel like it affects you? Like, will it affect you? Or?
At the start, there was actually, the first time I actually kena, right, was this 80 episodes ago already, a long time ago. We were talking about this girl in so there was a World of Buzz post, you know World of Buzz? Right? World of Buzz post. We were in the World of Buzz post was this lady at the airport, right? And then one of the trolley, what do you call those people? I don't know, trolley assistant or something.
Those who help you to move your luggage.
Yes. What do they call it?
Porter.
Yeah.
So they help
something
you to
like
port
that.
your bags.
Yeah, like a hotel porter like that. Yeah. So that trolley guy came to this girl at her car window and said like, "Hi, you're very sexy. Don't mind me, but I think you're very sexy and pretty. Yeah, where do you live?" Like that.
Okay.
And then the girl was complaining on the post, like saying that she was sexually harassed by this guy. And then we were saying like, oh, actually I was saying World of Buzz, right? I went and clicked on the full article or what. I don't see any name. I don't see any like picture of. There's no proof or what. And then I was saying like, how do we know actually? Maybe they're just creating some stories. You know, we wouldn't know. You know, it sure worked lah. It got people to react to it lah. And then one of my friends also said in the podcast, say like, maybe she's just some bitch that wants attention. Okay, and that is harsh thing to say. But I started getting a lot of hate. You know, a few hundreds of hate comments say, "Oh, you're motherless, fatherless, all those." Just is that type of shit lah. And the first few hate comments came in. I'm like, okay, it's funny. Then when hundreds come in, right, then you start, oh fuck, you start to worry. And then my friends are telling me like, what are you doing, Brian? Go and apologize now, which I did not do because I'm like, fuck this. I didn't say anything stupid or what. But after dude, it was so stupid because that night I went out, right? I went to some bar and drink with my friends. And I started thinking like, oh my god, maybe this person thinks I'm an asshole. Like, no one gives a shit, okay? No one cares. Okay, that's the truth. No one cares. Nowadays social media, right? You can be how many 100,000 follower or whatever, dude. nowadays it's so common, right, that people don't even last time it's like, oh, people all want to take want to get your autograph, which is now called selfie and all.
Yeah.
Now, right, let's say if I see people that I'm a fan of or whatever, so I don't even bother.
Yeah.
Because it's very common nowadays, to meet popular people. But yeah, it did affect me at the start. And then now I'm like, I learned from the best podcaster, Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
His advice to people is just don't read the comments.
To read it. Yeah.
Just don't read it. It will not do anything good to you. That's what he would advise people. Yeah, I do read them. Nowadays I'm damn lazy to reply. I only reply if it's something funny.
Yeah.
If it's getting personal, political, right? Oh, dude, it's hard to bother to reply already. Just now we were talking about raising a kid, the right time and wrong time to spoil a kid.
Yeah.
Your kid right now, right? 5 years old. Right?
Yep.
Is he at age where he understands materialism yet? And how do you navigate these waters in introducing him to this stuff? Because obviously he's gonna grow up with a lot of this stuff, whether it's his one or daddy's one. He also don't know yet. But how do you navigate these waters, man?
I guess I think how the upbringing of a child is actually a reflection of the parent. So, if you want to spoil your kid, you can, but it means that you are pretty much spoiled as well. So what I do is that there's this thing that I use. So like every time he goes to the toy shop, he wants to buy a certain toy. What I'll tell him is that I have no money. You have to work for it first. He has to work for it, and his work is going to school.
Do homework.
I brainwash him lah. That's the bullshit that I feed him. So he do homework or do chores. As he grow up, I'll probably do things. I'll teach him things like that. Basically, what I want to teach him is that he has to work for it to get the things, which I know I can clearly afford the toys and all, but I just don't want to get it for him because I don't want him to think that things he can get it easily. So it's like generally that's the upbringing lah. So like if you want to spoil your kids, some parents may not think too deeply because maybe they are too busy with work. They just want to pacify their children. You can, but we are sending the wrong message lah. So I'm not saying my method is correct. That's just the way how I do it. And I hope that this can teach him some lessons in life.
No, bro, it is it is correct. It's a common way also that people they incentivize the kid by doing doing their homework or doing accomplishing something. But right, the problem is, okay, I'm not a parent yet but I will assume every parent, right, they would think like, when I have a kid, I want to make sure he's not spoiled. He work for everything that he ever wants, right? He has to work for everything. But at the same time, you're a dad also, and you cannot help but see that smile on his face, okay? And the problem comes when you give in,
Yeah.
And once you give in that one time, the kid is already going to start to understand like, oh shit, my dad will have a soft spot for me. Are you? Does that happen to you often? And how's your wife's take on all this stuff? Like, who's the more strict one?
Definitely my wife, but I think she agrees with my method as well. Yeah, she agrees that try not to spoil your kids too much. I mean, there's a balance. Sometimes you might give in, but as long as there's no perfect way. Like as a parent, you're just trying to do your best.
Yeah.
If your kid turn out, it's about how you look at things. Like if your kids turn out good, happy, clap. You did a good job. If your kids turn out spoiled, then you fucked up. Then
no,
yeah, because you never get to predict like what's happening 10 years down the future. Even if you do your best, he might turn up as an asshole as well. So what can you do?
No, it's true, bro. Yeah, and I know a lot of people who are, actually I wouldn't say a lot but yeah, I know people who are well to do, grow up that way and all, right, privileged, and some of them turn out fucked up, right? And sometimes you can say that, oh, it's not enough attention or proper or weren't taught well by the parents or all. Sometimes it's like luck lah. It's not the parents' fault. is because you can't actually control where your kid is going to go and socialize.
Yeah.
And whether he meets the right crowd or the wrong crowd,
That's right.
you can't control all of that. Yeah. There was this one particular case, right? It's just a friend of mine's relative, right? Not saying names, but what happened was this kid got the family into a lot of trouble. Okay, up to a point where he's now dealing with loan sharks, right? The loan sharks, not just one, several loan sharks came to the parents, and extended family also don't know got involved. But the reason why is because the kid is very young, 20 years old. Okay, he borrowed money from the loan shark and all because he wanted to prove a point.
Okay.
Because his family is well to do.
Okay.
They're not super rich.
Okay.
But they're okay lah. Okay, they're doing okay. He wanted to prove a point. So he borrowed money from the loan shark to, as a young kid, right? And then you see you understand that your dad has worked so hard and then is become successful. As a kid, everyone wants to prove the same thing to their parents. They always have that sort of mindset as well.
Yeah.
So he borrowed the money and his idea was to invest it in some business. His business idea was like to, I think if I'm not mistaken, buy shoes or something like that and sell it and blah blah. Long story short, he lost all of it lah. Not only once, a few times, up to 500,000 like that. Yeah, and as a 20-year-old kid, right, the loan sharks came and then the parents are so worried right now because you don't like, the kid never didn't show any sign of remorse or regret. Still is very prideful and his attitude is like, I
didn't do anything wrong. I was just trying my best, maybe.
Something like that. But also is very, he doesn't want to admit lah. Okay. And obviously when you're 20 years old, right, you think very differently. I don't know whether 10 years later he's going to think the same way. But chances are it's not lah. But it puts the parents in a very fucked situation because you're like, how, the kid doesn't understand what he's doing, you know. And the kid could just go to the parents and ask, actually. That's true. Ask for the advice and work together. Maybe, if you want to borrow some money, he could have done that, but he chose not to. The reason why he didn't do that is because he wanted to prove a point now. Yeah. And I think a lot of children who grow up in wealthy families, they face the same thing. And chances are, right, no matter how smart you are, perhaps it's the times that we grow up in, right, that whatever your super wealthy parent had achieved, right, it might not be achievable for someone in your generation. For example, that's like owning a house, right? Back then, adults, your parents probably could own a house in their mid-20s. They own a house. Now to officially purchase a home, let's just not say a super big home or whatever, 2-bedroom apartment in KL or PJ. KL is already fucking expensive.
Yeah. In PJ now, 500,000-600,000.
Yes. It's just gonna be something really hard to achieve as someone in their early 20s.
I agree.
And also, because the property prices had gone up so much in the last 20 years, right? Your assets also grow.
That's true.
So your assets also grow, and then for a person who is for the kid now who is in early 20s, right? Is the same thing going to happen? Is the property price also going to grow by 1,000%? You know what I mean? In the next 20 years.
That's right.
Chances are it's probably not.
Probably not. Yeah. Because it just went up so much over the last 10, 20 years, right? Yeah, but coming back to a point, I guess it's actually about communication. I think parents and the kids, I feel there's definitely a breakdown in communication between that particular example. Because if not, first of all, why would he do that? Second of all, he did it without the family's knowledge and all, right? So coming to a story a show that I watched. If you guys are parents, it's Netflix show. It's talking about
what's the show, sorry?
It's called Adolescence.
Oh, I just watched it.
You watched it, right? Yeah. So it's short, to keep it short, there's this a normal family in UK. The kid a normal kid, right?
Yeah.
But then suddenly came like he killed his classmate, right? And then like they start to unravel what is the thought process or what is the reason he did it. But actually, if you watch the show, right, there isn't any reason why he particularly did it. The show is just processing what are the difficulties that the kids face these days, with respect to social media, with respect to, just their interaction with their classmates. So it's like it really provides a different perspective for parents, how you should communicate with your kids to guide them not to fuck up in life. I think if you ask every parent, right, the thing like when they are 1 to 5, you're just making sure that they don't fuck themselves off, like they don't kill themselves. Okay, 5 to 15, you're just hoping that they don't go with the wrong crowd, and like go into drugs, go into unprotected sex and all that shit, smoke and all that stuff.
Smoking.
And then like after 18, right, you're just like hopefully you just do things that doesn't bring harm to the family.
Yes, but it's also at 18 it's like the parent have to try very hard to just let go of every expectation already and just let them fly or crawl.
I think like nowadays you just have to have that kind of mentality. I think as a new gen parent, you just need to have like that kind of mentality. Like, okay, so at 18, just let them fuck up. If they are gonna fuck up. Yeah.
The fuck up is inevitable. How bad the fuck up can be, that's the worrying part. So would you say that having 3 sons is more stressful than 3 daughters?
I wouldn't, because like I think daughters are more vulnerable.
Vulnerable?
Yeah, I mean females in general, I think growing up you actually need to protect them perhaps. More emotionally, physically, they might come into harm, right? Technically guys, true. There's 2 different worries but I do think that there's a little bit less worry for guys.
Why so?
Unprotected sex, early pregnancy, that kind of thing. That's just my perspective on female versus male. Male, if you discount the gender, technically female is, I would say, more emotional. That's just the hard fact.
Yeah, it is.
Guys probably not so, but I guess yes, they will be. Even if you're a teenager, you're gonna be emotional regardless. But I think they're more, how do I say, hardy.
Okay, one way to put it is, let's say your kid is for yourself in high school. Were you always going out late and not coming home when you're supposed to, like that?
No, man. Actually, for me, like, because I think one day it's like I'm a good boy, maybe, and because my residence is pretty far from the rest of classmates, right? They're all in Damansara. I mean, like Old Klang Road. Yeah. So it's like I don't have the chance to go out, right? Because you need transport at all, right? Yes. So I didn't want to bother my parents at all. So like, yeah.
You know what was the secret technique last time, to go out with your friends? Let's say if you all go to drink or
go CC and all.
CC.
Yeah.
You see, right? In public school, going out to party and all, right? That's not really a normal thing in public school, but in private international school, the kids they what do you call this? The parents fund their partying. You don't have to hide it, But I'm saying in public school, if I wanted to go out with my friend, I didn't do much of that, maybe once or twice, I would have to beg my parents to let me stay over, because that's the only way you can do it. So and I always wondered why some parents are so strict, like they never let their kids stay over or whatever. That's the exact reason why.
That's the exact reason.
You don't know what they're up to. But what I wanted to say is, the point is, if your son is out at night, you are less worried than compared to a girl who is out past 12 a.m. every day or whatever.
Definitely, yeah. Because like your guy, you can kind of protect yourself. But like, I guess in general, like, don't let your kids out at 12. Like, that's just unsafe. Because like, I know it's just a Chinese mentality thing. I'm
Dude,
not sure.
when I was, how about in your college, uni years and all?
College is fine because like I know how to drive and all. So
no, I mean, like, were you the type that you would go out late nights, party?
yum chala. Actually, I didn't even club.
You didn't.
I didn't even
You
club.
don't drink,
I drank, but that's like in the uni lah.
Yeah.
Like when you're away from your parents. But like, it's not like you go to a club and get
Get
super
wasted.
drunk, wasted,
Yeah.
and then you just spend the night at the club.
So
Yeah.
I did like to party, but it's not to say that I was partying every day lah. But last time in my 19, 20 like that, I would go out every night and just hang out with friends. Okay, like just lepak, meet this friend, meet another friend. Mama, I don't know for how long. Go to whatever cafe, play pool lah maybe or whatever. CC also maybe. Yeah. And then I come home like 2, 3 every day, and I cause a lot of stress and my to my parents. I make them worry a lot.
Yeah.
And then back then I couldn't understand like why why must it be so controlling. Then now when I think about it, right, you tell me like what good reason does anyone have to be out past 12?
That's true.
There's nothing good that happens.
Yeah.
It's only the least horrible thing, right, that I can think of is you're watching football lah.
Yeah.
That's the only thing, bro.
That's a good thing. You're like, that's a good thing. You're watching football, right?
That's why I say that's the the last thing that you would worry about lah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like there's this movie that says like nothing good comes after 2. Like staying up after 2,
of course.
right? I don't know what movie was that, but
no, I know what. It's not a movie, bro. It's a series. How I Met Your Mother.
Yeah.
You watch How I Met Your Mother?
I watched How I Met
Yeah,
Your
there was
Mother,
one episode. Maybe they were talking about that.
Nothing good comes after 2, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I can understand the kids, but now I also understand where my parents come from, having kids. So it's just about communicating. I think most important is like, I think the reason why I didn't stay out too often, I did probably like once a week, right? Definitely not like continuous days, but probably once a week for mama yamcha. But I think it's communication. I start telling your parents, updating them. But it comes back to the topics like, you know, if you are a kid at that age, right, you gotta talk to your parents, because I think nowadays like parents and kids, they just don't talk, and then like miscommunication is where
it's very important.
Yeah.
Hey, bro, I saw your post recently. You're building a basketball court.
Yeah.
80,000 is it?
80,000. Yeah. Ballpark figure. Yeah.
You play basketball?
I used to play a little bit. Yeah.
But more football.
More football. Yeah. But basketball is like the sport where you can actually work out yourself, and it's pretty fun. You can kind of play with.
Do you follow
yourself.
the NBA or?
I used to 2 years back. Now not so much.
It was quite hot, back then.
Hot, back then. Yeah.
Even people who are not interested
Lakers,
also, they're talking about it.
Correct.
So the court is for your kids to be able to shoot some hoops.
Yeah. That's the 5-year plan, but like short-term plan is just like I need to find something to work out on. Yeah.
Do you work out often?
Yeah.
Exercise, sorry.
Yeah. I try to. Yeah. Just going to the gym. Just going to the gym. But it's like, what about you?
Bro, I've been going to the gym a long time. 12, 13 years.
Yeah.
Gym for me is like, it's like up to a point right now, right, where if I don't go gym, I don't feel happy that day. Don't feel happy, but you can tell that my day is not the same. And there's a scientific explanation to it, right? There's also, of course, a psychological explanation to it. I think the scientific explanation is because obviously when you sweat, right, you release that hormone. I can't remember, endorphins or serotonin, but you release that sort of happy hormones. So if your body is used to doing that every day, you know, for years and years and 10 years, and then you don't do it for a couple of days, obviously there's going to be something different in your hormones. The psychological explanation, I would say, is because I was super shy of I was super scared of talking to girls in high school. It was not my thing. Yourself?
Same. Yeah, I'm super shy. I wasn't popular at all.
yeah. So I was like that, and one thing that actually helped me build some confidence was going to the gym a lot.
Same. That's just a thought. Like, if you're a shy guy, just hit up the gym, right?
Yeah. So I did that, and then of course it did help. And then now it's sort of a point where, like, you're scared to lose it, you know, if you stop going to the gym. So when I see sometimes when I see a lot of online fitness coaches or whatever, and then they are telling you about how you just gotta say fuck it. Sometimes you don't feel like going to the gym. You just gotta say fuck it and do it. Rise and grind 4 a.m. Blah blah blah. Bro, you mean
No worries.
No, wait. Okay, no, yeah. Those coaches, right? Sometimes I feel like, but do you actually, like, is it actually that much of a hassle for you to hit the gym? Maybe you actually, like, you can't go a day without going to the gym. That's what I'm trying to say. So sometimes I when I see coaches like that, I think, like, are they actually what they say it is, or is it actually that way? You were thinking about putting in a pickleball court.
Yeah.
But not at the moment.
Not at the moment, but that's the plan.
What do you think about? I mean, do you play much pickleball?
I haven't played pickleball at all.
You haven't?
Yeah, I've seen it a lot online, but no, I haven't touched one.
I'm sure you've got buddies who ajak you to play.
The thing is, right, as you grow older, right, then like your group of friends, they all like become parents. So it's like you don't have so much free time. And that's why they always say, like, talking back to a bit about the gym, right? Like, you just don't have the time and energy because, like, kids, they just sap your energy, man. But it's trying to push the boundary between energy levels, trying to work out. Like, even my kid just delivered this month. I haven't gone to the gym for like 3 weeks, and I a really long time. And I feel so bad. Because if you don't go to gym, your muscles shrink after like 2 weeks. But I can get it back very fast, right? But it's like you just need to find the motivation. Because over the years, I've been gymming for 10 years. It's always the same cycle. You hit gym for 3 months, then it's like you go back down. You don't hit the gym or anything. Then like you find another motivation, like a spike, and then you go gym again. So it's like finding a consistency, but it's just hard.
Okay. Yeah. But you probably had some buddies invite you to play pickleball.
Yeah. I had some, just like you can just can't find the time.
Do you have buddies running a pickleball center? Because it's everywhere nowadays. All the courts everywhere, bro.
No, I don't have someone directly running it, but I have people asking me to invest.
No, that's why I wanted to ask you this. What do you think about it, Because you never know, with this sort of thing. You remember last time when bubble tea was booming?
That's right.
Right? And then obviously it got saturated, and all those bubble tea shops that you loved to go to last time is gone, and of course there's new ones, but it's just got really saturated. Well, what do you think about pickleball right now, man?
Okay, I'm going to talk back about the bubble tea because I was actually in that craze. I actually invested in a business. Right.
Do you mind sharing?
There's a Xingfu Tang lah. There was a big...
Xingfu Tang?
Yeah.
Hey, that one is what is it? One of Tama? Or?
No. I had one in Klang.
Okay.
Yeah. So like, okay. Long story short, F&B, super tiring, super operational. Lots of things to think about. I went in 2019, ran the business for a year. Super tiring, and then COVID hit. So I had a decision to do, like, do I close down the business? Do I not? Because like towards the end of 2019 and towards like the COVID year, right? The sales came down super a lot.
Before COVID hit also, it went down already.
Yeah, slightly before COVID. Because like the craze, the hype started to come down. The hype was there for like 6 months. I was like, let's say, okay, the hype was there for like 8 months. I went in like during the 6 months. So I had like good 4 or 5 months of sales. But that wasn't enough to cover the investment cost. Because the investment cost was like 8 to 900,000.
Of course. Can I ask, like, did you end up breaking even?
No. We made losses. I think it was like 100 plus 150. Okay. Yeah, 150. Not so. If you spread out about
it's a lot of money but it could be worse.
It could be worse. Yeah, and then luckily I took the decision to close down like before COVID.
You bleed even more.
With the rental and all that stuff lah.
Bro, you were lucky, man, before COVID.
Yeah. No, because like I kind of knew COVID was coming because like I didn't know COVID was coming lah.
I understand.
I like COVID was like March. I remember very vividly. March, April, right? Then like December, January, right? Things were just slowing down like super drastically, from like 10,000 a day to like $1,000 a day.
That had nothing to do with COVID lah. It's just the trend.
Just the trend, and then like COVID just killed off lah. Yeah. So like I said, lucky that I just ended it lah. I took the decision to just end.
Was it? It was stressful.
Stressful, yeah, stressful because like I'm not staying in Klang. So first of all, distance. Like then second, managing people.
Yeah.
And then like just making sure they don't fuck up the things up. Because like I was hiring like students, fresh grad, because you don't want your expenses to be super high, right?
Yeah.
And then like yeah.
No, but bro, you see, right, managing the people, all that's already a hassle to think of, right?
Yeah.
Getting the sales, right, when it starts to drop, that's also super stressed because you're like, okay, so what type of marketing genius idea can I implement the next month to sort of change things? And then, you've got a lot of other competitors and they are doing the same shit also. Every month they have to come up with new things. And I would assume in today's age, you need to spend even more in marketing.
Yeah.
Because every fucking shop now, unless it's also a mandatory thing now, right? They will put it, right, your employees, your staff, they have to create content. They have to always create content. It's a normal thing now lah. Was it back then also?
No, there wasn't like social media in 2019.
There was, but not so.
It was like YouTube, Twitter kind of era.
Understand.
Instagram was like photos, no content. Then like that came like after 2022 and all that stuff.
Instagram was there, but the marketing game for like businesses all wasn't so common and popular.
Yeah. So it's like, and then like that area, there was like 4 bubble tea shops. So like competition was fucking high.
Yeah, get wrecked.
Marketing was like kind of non-existent then, except like your Facebook kind of thing. So it's like it's super challenging that time.
You know what's crazy? There are still people opening bubble tea shops now.
Yeah.
So bro, every time I see all this, I see all these F&Bs and they open and then they close and open and close, and sometimes they can open for so long and still never close. And I always wonder like what happens. Like maybe you have some insight. Can you like explain like a bit like what actually happens to most of these businesses? Like after they break even, or if they're lucky, they can break even.
Yeah.
Or what if they don't break even? So they're just all in debt or whatever.
Yeah.
What usually happens, man?
I have like 2 theories. Right. One is like a business, like you just don't understand how it can sustain so long, right? You just don't see any business. So for that, my only explanation is that they are washing money, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the only legit explanation.
Cannot think of any other reason.
Yeah, there's no other reason. Because like you don't get customers, like you get barely minimum customers. How do you survive? Secondly, it's like they just own the shop. No? They just own the shop. They don't have to pay rental. Every month they are barely breaking even. But because if you are barely breaking even, just let it run.
Yeah.
So that's only 2 explanations.
Yeah.
Because if you're renting, you're going to die.
Yeah.
Rental is so expensive now.
It's crazy.
No one can survive. Like, even in shopping malls, 30K, I've met a lot of businessmen. 30K for shopping mall. Like even normal shop lots, like if you're lucky, 10K on like the ground floor. So it's like, how can you survive?
And you want to make 30K a month selling bubble tea.
Bubble tea, yeah.
So okay, bro, back to the sorry to keep you back to the pickleball, bro. I don't know whether some of the people that ask you to invest is going to hear this lah.
Yeah.
But what's your take lah? Because I look at it the amount of courts popping out is quite insane, man.
Crazy.
I don't even know like I have a buddy that runs a pickleball court.
Yeah.
Okay, it's Pickle Nation. Shout out Pickle Nation.
Okay.
It's doing great. Okay, but I see the amount of effort they put in a lot. Every week got events with here, there, with a company want to host event. I see a lot of effort, and it's very stressful.
Yeah.
But what's going to happen when in the future, Yeah, what do you think, bro?
Okay. Pickleball is a trend. I'm not sure how long the trend will last. Will it die off? Will it not? I'm not sure. But there's definitely business opportunity. Just that, like you said, too many freaking courts are opening now. Like, my one thing is that if you pass by Puchong, right, there's this row of shops. They used to be like car sales and furniture shops.
Pickleball shop?
No, it used to be furniture shops and car salesmen.
Now
there's like 3, I think even 4 pickleball, all in the same row.
Courts or shops?
Courts. Now there are new courts. They refurbish the car sales place.
Yeah, furniture shop lots.
It used to be furniture shop
lots.
Yeah. And within like 1 month, 4 just popped up, So it's like, wow, once I pass by that row, I know the pickleball.
You need to say no to your friend.
It's just not worth it.
Bro, it's scary.
Yeah.
Like, what? And then I also hear I got friends, my pickleball court opening in 6 months. They're telling me that now, I'm like, 6 months?
Yeah.
What's going to happen?
Yeah.
Okay so we are looking at it from a pessimistic view because we compare it to bubble tea.
Yeah.
These are some of the positives okay, that I can think of.
Yeah.
pickleball is being introduced to I forgot, Sukma or SEA Games or Commonwealth Games next year.
Okay.
Next year. 2026, okay?
Okay.
Something like that.
Yep.
Okay? So, if this sport is getting legit and we've got younger kids all playing pickleball and all, if we've got some athletes that are successful in that, perhaps it would be gradually growing and not anytime soon is it going to stop.
Yep.
Let's think about badminton. Okay, we are really good in badminton.
Yep.
You know how many courts there are, badminton,
Yep.
everywhere.
Yep.
And somehow they can survive and they're fully booked, you know. So in a best case scenario, perhaps that happens. We see the demand and amount of people playing pickleball just keep increasing for the next 10 years or so. Then is great.
It's great.
But right now we just see a lot of saturation.
Yeah. Definitely like Pickle Nation, because they were one of the first, and I think they're freaking
Not
huge,
so,
right?
so bro.
Not so. But they're freaking huge, right?
Quite huge.
That's the Goh Ping Soon's one.
My buddy Wee Hong, he's
Hong,
one of the owners.
Okay.
Yeah, Wee Hong. I don't know Goh Ping Soon.
Goh Ping Soon, the ex Malaysian badminton player.
Oh no.
No, that's Pickle 63 or something.
Oh no, different, bro. That's why I say it's too many.
There's too many.
Yeah. Pickle Nation was open only in I think February was their grand opening or something.
Okay.
Yeah, and even before that, right, I can already think of like 10 courts, more than 10 courts in KL Selangor. Yeah, way more than that.
Yeah. I mean, actually, it's just business lah. If you can make it, you can survive. Yeah, you're gonna survive because you're big enough. You have the volume. Small ones, if you don't have enough capital to fight or to last, I most likely they're gonna close down.
Yeah, the capital, right?
Yeah,
the capital is to keep competing, you know.
Is to keep competing.
That's the thing. You put in the capital to keep competing. Invest in marketing. You know, get some influencers. You pay them and do some shit or whatever. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
How long can you keep this competitive edge while keep funding it, injecting money into this? Yeah. Okay, bro. Last topic lah. Okay.
Can.
Yeah, fast one.
Because I gotta make go.
Yeah. So, obviously, the theme of your Instagram profile is wealth, money. Yeah, you haven't described it. How would you describe it?
I'll describe it as comedy.
Definitely.
Actually, I like comedy a lot. Yeah. I try to make a joke of everything, but I'll say wealthy comedy lah. Yeah. Similar along the lines like Bobby Saputra, maybe like the international kid.
Oh, I'm not sure. Yeah. Also
there's another Bangkok one, Aung Sarum Thai. Like Kateki, I'm sure.
How about in Malaysia? Do you know anyone else doing something similar?
No, not in Malaysia.
Yeah, well,
in Malaysia. So hopefully I can be a creator along these lines, and hopefully people want to watch. Yeah.
You are the first, bro. What I can say is keep doing it. People love it. People are watching, and don't be surprised if someone else tries to emulate. But it's not something easy to emulate.
Yeah.
Something that people can afford to emulate easily. Yeah. So okay. Yeah. The question is, can money really buy happiness?
My opinion is, yes, it can buy some happiness. It can't buy all. So people always think like, hey, can money buy happiness? It's like a yes or no question. Let's say, money can't buy happiness. Then they'll talk about it. No, money can make you happy. But there are certain things that money can't make you happy too. So the question is, I did a content like, would you rather be rich and poor? Or do you rather be like poor and happy?
Sorry, wait, not rich and poor.
No, sorry, rich and sad. Or you rather be poor and happy. No one actually said poor and happy. Because if you're rich, you alleviate a lot of the things that make you sad, right? So you can be happy to a certain extent, right? So that's why I think a lot of people is also trying to pursue wealth, pursue money. Yeah.
I think money... Probably happiness is not that. It's not the accurate term lah for what I think money can provide you with opportunity and definitely a lot of freedom.
Yep.
A lot less stress. Opportunity is the key, and that's what I see with a lot of people growing up with money. They have many different opportunities as compared to someone who didn't grow up with money. And if you have all these other opportunities, you definitely could have a happier life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fantastic way to put it. Actually, that's the best way to describe it.
Yeah, freedom and opportunity.
Freedom and opportunities, yeah.
Bro, I shared a little bit about this was my a good buddy of mine. Okay, he's a Dota 2 player, right? Very good buddy of mine. When we grew up in high school, he was the poorest friend that I knew by far, the poorest friend. But he's a high-level Dota player, playing for big teams. And in high school, of course...
Huh? Is his name Yap?
Roger, do you know? Or Yusuf? Do you still play Dota?
No, I know there's this Malaysian Dota player.
There's a few.
Who I know.
Sorry, not a few. There's a lot actually.
Okay.
Even well-paid, there's also a lot in Malaysia.
Yeah.
So obviously, he was already playing at a very high level when I first met him in Form 4.
Okay.
And then after high school, he did college for a year. Then money came coming to him because the opportunity came coming to play overseas and the exchange rates is gonna pay you well. Definitely. Played overseas, China, Korea, or he's still playing now.
Okay.
Yeah. So what I realized, right, is the difference from compared to me. I went overseas. I had all the opportunities to try a lot of hobbies and stuff. Okay, I'm not saying I was super rich and spoiled and whatever, but I had options of hobbies and all to try out opportunities, which is what I mentioned earlier. He didn't have much of that.
Okay.
He stuck with playing Dota, and he was playing Dota since he was 6 years old. His mom taught him how to play Dota, brought him to the cyber cafe, and played with him when he was 6. And he's been playing it his whole life. And it's crazy to see that he still gets happy to play Dota right now. Yeah, and he's was the poorest friend I know, and now is one of the most successful. Yeah, so that's just a little bit about opportunity and the how money can give you opportunity and freedom. Yeah. Okay. You got any messages for your followers?
If you guys like my content, keep supporting me. Hopefully I can do some more interesting content. If not,
do you get like many other podcast invites?
No, not really.
Soon you will.
Hopefully. I'm very appreciative that Brian invited me for a chat.
Thank you.
It's really cool to come here.
Thanks for coming also, bro. I won't put this in now, but don't be surprised. Genie Boy also all will hit you up soon.
I chat with Genie Boy once in a while. Yeah.
Oh, is it? Your buddy, is it?
He DM me. No, not my buddy, but sometimes we chat.
Did he ask you to do?
No. Why Genie Boy? You never asked me. No, joking.
I think he will soon.
Okay. You know him, wasn't it?
No, I don't. I asked him to do my podcast once. He said that he's not so good in doing podcasts, my friend said, but I'm like, come on, like, you're just busy, I guess. Which is, I completely understand, bro. Yeah, he's a busy man. Okay, alright, guys, that's it for today's episode. If you've enjoyed it so far, please do me a favor, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. If what you thought about today's episode, what you think about Rich Dad William, suggestions who you want to see in future podcast episodes. If you want to see Rich Dad William on the podcast again next time in the future, and guys, give it up for Rich Dad William. And we will see you in the next episode.
Missing my homies, I'm missing my oldies, my brothers, my cronies. We all went to court, but before only courts that we knew were the ones where we were shooting threes, selling Kobe. To a legend, rest in peace to the old me, rest in peace to my brothers, rest in peace to my whole team. The oldest, I'm missing my shawty.